Know that we have divided in three our kingdom. We have this hour a constant will to publish our daughter's several dowers, that future strife may be prevented now.
This admiration, ma'am, is much of the savor of other your new pranks.
The students that were involved in making this had an experience unlike any other they've ever had, and they will never forget it.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you shall we say doth love us most? Come, I am a king!
COVID hit, and it was very clear that we were not coming back in the fall, that we were not going to be in production mode, but there was going to be no public audiences, and everybody was ready to punt.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
I have colleagues around the country who said, you called the state public broadcasting, and if you live in Massachusetts or if you live in New York or something, that's just not going to happen. But that's the wonderful thing about West Virginia. And I never really panicked. Oh my God, I'm doing King Lear's a movie. What the hell am I? I just did what was the next thing and what was the next thing, and I think we kind of did the whole thing that way.
The relationship between something like WVPBS and public theater and WVU. Like it was a huge conglomerate of all these people working together to figure out what was going on and what we could do together. And I think that's the beauty of it, is the community came together to produce something for the community. And
we'd had discussions with our chair about how are we going to do these shows, and there were different ways we'd talked about doing them, streaming them or what have you. I just heard, and Jerry has a connection with PBS, and he really wants to do LEAR for PBS. And I was stunned because I'm like, wow, how are we going to do this? This would be great because we've never really done it before. But at the same time, I'm like, God, that is amazing. That is the connection we need to for our students to get out there more. Plus, it keeps us social distanced. It makes our public bigger for the students. It's a great, opportunity for them.
Every time that we would plan, okay, we're going to start doing this, something shut down. The school shut down, and now you can't be in person, and you can't be more than 5 people in a room.
when we did fittings and stuff, I looked like I'd kidnapped E.T. I was wearing this, this white sheet, and I had this big mask. I had a mask on, and then I had this shield over my face. I was wearing rubber gloves.
I took a class to become a COVID compliance officer through Health Education Services, and I received my certificate from them along with a bunch of resources. And I started to put together what I think was a 7 to 10 page document about the policies that we were going to follow as a group, both inside the production, in this room in the Davis, and outside.
I was really excited when they said, oh, we're gonna do a Shakespeare show, it's gonna be King Lear, super exciting. And then the pandemic hits, and for a while I thought I wasn't gonna get to do anything, because everything's getting canceled. I mean, how can you? And so when they said that, we're gonna make a movie, I was like, no, we're not. Honestly, I didn't think it was gonna happen. And even coming right up to it, I was like, steel yourself in case it gets canceled last minute. Just be prepared.
Making a decision about who played Lear was a challenge, because I'm asking a professional actor to come rehearse a project that there's a good chance we may not actually get to pull off. Are you game? The great thing about a play like King Lear is you get to create the world that it happens in when you direct it. You get to create what it looks like, what it sounds like, and there are pagan versions of King Lear where people are in furs. There's very sophisticated versions where, and the very traditional Elizabethan versions. But why can't we create a world where the woman king is as powerful as any man and respected and revered? I had a friend who I thought was a fierce actor who would be incredible, but it was a woman. And I said, well, why not? And so I cast Lear as a female. Kent and Gloucester are all females. They're positions of power. There was no differentiation of power based on whether you're a man or a woman, that everybody could be powerful. It's not the only reason you go to school is to be on stage, but it's a big part of it. And you can have fantastic acting classes, design classes, technical class, literature classes, but if you don't get to do what you came to do, what's the point? And that was all taken away from them.
We didn't think we were going to get a senior show. We didn't think we were going to get to act fully this year. And after this wonderful process, we've not only gotten to act, we've gotten to experience something new. And the fact that it not only goes from us, but that it goes to an audience, and not just whoever can make it here, but it goes to whoever has a screen in front of them, is incredible.
I had no prior interest in film. I've always been like, I want to work in theater. I want to, like, there's like the magic of live theater, and it's something you can't like match. But definitely working on this, it's kind of opened my eyes to like, oh, there's a possibility I might want to do that or learn more about it.
It was super interesting and exciting to learn. It was something completely new. There are so many new jobs like grip electrics and dealing with all of the sound things.
Filming is very different from live performance. All these little like technical things that are related to film, like just kind of.
The students were so excited, like the crew themselves were so excited to be working on a movie. After the first 2 or 3 days of tech and filming, I had crew members coming up to me saying, can we come in for more days?
Nobody in my world, the theater world, saw anybody in your world ever get the least bit upset, frustrated. I would look up and Jason or John were teaching one of the students how the dolly works and letting them play. And I just thought, this is what it's all about. As an educator and as somebody that's my life, that was the most fulfilling part of it, to see all of that interaction and see people like Presley and Natalie emerge as these incredible, taking control of this situation.
We've learned so much from this one that we can totally build on this, because this was the first time we've done something like this in our program. And I consider it a groundbreaking thing. I think we should keep doing it. I mean, and I think everybody in this department would agree with that. Totally, absolutely. And I think the students would as well.
To me, it's a family drama. In some ways, almost like what are those old Falcon Crest in Dallas, where families are stabbing each other in the back and doing things. There's a lot of that going on, but ultimately, it's about love. And, so this king, in an act of vanity, divides his kingdom up and bases the division upon how much they can articulate their love for him, his 3 daughters. And one of them refuses to do it because she's like the most honest. So it's a really human exploration of what love really is from a family point of view.
We got through it, we did it, and it was such an amazing experience. Like I've never lived through a pandemic, and I've never done a movie before, so it was a great experience.
As a person from West Virginia, you don't always get that kind of exposure. It's been a great opportunity to realize that, you don't always hear about the people that are doing a different art form like film. And so being like, oh wow, West Virginia PBS is like a thing and they're great to work with and this is going places.
As an older person who grew up here, West Virginia public broadcasting was a huge thing for me. It was the way I got to see the world. And West Virginia, all the things that sort of, in the arts and all sorts of different programming. So to be on that, to be involved in that, that's very exciting. That's really very exciting. And I know that the students and parents of students and just people who are interested in the arts and even that come and see our shows are going to be kind of surprised and I think really thrilled.
It was an incredible experience for the students of the School of Theater and Dance. There's no way we could have done this without the collaboration and support of West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
This is a production of West Virginia Public Broadcasting.